Hunter, where did you go?
I'm at work right now. Why?
You're still working at this hour? You're really an incompetent person, aren't you? Competent people usually don't work until this late in the evening.
It's only half past my regular work hours.
Huh? Did I hear you right? Are you talking back to me? This is unbelievable. Who do you think you are?
I was just telling the truth. I didn't intend to talk back to you or anything.
Blah, 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 shut up. You're annoying me. If you don't come home, I won't be able to eat dinner. By the way, I washed clothes.
You washed the clothes? Really? I'm surprised. Well, I guess it's a good surprise. Thank you.
You should hang it so it'll dry.
You didn't hang them up yet?
Oh, why do I have to be the one to hang the clothes? I was the one who put them in the washing machine and washed the clothes. You should be thanking me instead of complaining.
Are you serious? When did you wash the clothes?
I think it was around 3 p.m.
Hours have already passed since you washed them. What else did you do wash aside from the clothes?
I also washed the bed sheets.
Huh? Why did you wash the bed sheet? Didn't you wash it last week?
It's fine if I wash it right. It was a bit dirty, so I washed it for you.
The bed sheet is dirty. It didn't look dirty to me this morning when I checked. Did something happen?
Did you say this morning? Don't tell me you check the bedsheet every single morning. That's disgusting.
I just checked the bed every morning after waking up. When it was a bit dirty last time, you were very angry. So I made it a habit to check the bed every morning after that incident.
Did I really get very angry?
Yeah, you did. I didn't think you would react that much to a little dirt. But I don't think there was any obvious dirt on the bed sheets. When I checked this morning, why did you wash the bed sheets along with the clothes?
The bedsheet became dirty. You don't need to know how it got dirty. You should be thanking me for washing it, instead of grilling me with questions. More importantly, you didn't wash the plate that you used for breakfast.
I'm sorry about that. I was in a rush, so I didn't have time this morning.
Stop making excuses. You should properly do the chores at home.
By the way, about the bed sheets, why did it become dirty? Did you use it or something after waking up?
What do you mean? Are you trying to accuse me of something? I take naps, you know. I take rests now and then.
At 3 p.m.? I mean, how could it become dirty when you just took a nap?
Why are you being so persistent? Gosh. You're starting to annoy me really bad. You don't have to worry about things like that. You should just be doing the chores at home. Also, you should work properly. Understood? Because if you get fired or something for some reason, we won't be able to afford to live. But you should prioritize the chores at home, because that's part of your job as my husband.
Dana, do you think I'm a housekeeper or something?
What do you mean? You're my husband, and I see you as my husband.
If you don't think I'm a housekeeper or something, you won't be saying these to me and treat me like this. I'm not a robot who you can order around to make sure the house is always clean.
Why are you talking back to me again? How dare you talk to me like that? You have no right to disrespect me. Whatever. Just finish your work already. Come home immediately and do the chores. You should change the bed sheets with a different one as well.
How dare you say that to me? Get a hold of yourself! I've had enough of your unreasonable behavior.
What do you mean?
How could you ask me to change the bedsheet that you use with your lover? You stupid wife!
What are you saying? My lover? What are you talking about? Stop talking nonsense and talking back to me.
Listen, you might be thinking that I haven't found it out yet, but you've been acting strangely a lot lately. So I planted a camera in our room.
What? A camera?
Whatever you say to defend yourself, no matter how much you deny, I'll find out the truth after I check the camera when I get home. So I don't really need you to admit it now.
A camera? What do you mean you planted a camera? Why would you do such a thing?
And so?
Huh?
Are you gonna tell me the truth or not? Which is it? Get a hold of yourself. Just stop with your lies. I've had enough of them.
Why are you so mad? You're not the type of person who gets mad like this.
This is not a problem of my attitude or how I'm usually like. Stop underestimating me and stop making me look like I'm stupid.
Okay, I understand. Where is the camera that you mentioned?
You don't need to know the location of the camera. Just tell me the truth.
All right, I'll tell you the truth. I did bring a man into our home, but it's not like we're having an affair or anything, because we're just fooling around.
That's exactly what an affair means. Are you stupid or something? So you did something with that lover of yours on the bed and made the bed sheet dirty, didn't you? You even had the balls to ask me to hang that bed sheet to dry. Are you crazy or something?
Because you're the one who always did the laundry. So I thought you would do it.
So, since when have you been doing this? And where did you meet that bastard? And how did you two end up like that?
You're asking me too many questions.
Don't you plan to tell me at all?
Okay, I'll tell you. Geez, so annoying. He's an insurance diplomat. We met online.
So you met him on a dating app?
It's a matching website.
That's the thing. I only said differently. Are you kidding me?
I said I'm sorry. But I'll stop doing it now. You're fine with that, right?
Of course it's not okay. What are you thinking?
Where is the camera that you mentioned earlier? To take videos like that? You're evil. I'll forgive you for doing that if you forgive me.
There's no camera in the first place, and...
What? You've got to be kidding me. So you lied to me?
If I don't do it like this, you won't admit it, would you? Now that I learned that you're having an affair, I have no choice but to ask you to leave.
What? You're asking me to leave? Why? What do you mean by leave?
I'll file a divorce. The evidence of your affair is this chat message. You admitted everything, so I will use this conversation.
What a bastard!
Even if you delete our messages in your phone, it won't work. Because I already took a screenshot of this conversation.
How could could you do such a thing to me? I'm your wife. You've been kind to me all this time. You did everything for me, didn't you?
I was annoyed every time you asked me to do something, but I don't hate house chores, and I wasn't very unhappy with our marriage, so I didn't complain in front of you, but I don't want to work hard every day for a crazy wife like you. I even did the chores at home despite working full-time at the office. I realized that I didn't want to continue living this crappy life. So with that said, please leave, and we'll get a divorce.
Hey, Hunter, wait a minute. We can talk this out. A divorce? How do you expect me to live without your support? What do you mean by getting a divorce? You're even asking me to leave? Seriously, what are you saying? Where am I supposed to go?
I can tell that you're panicking. You work part-time only 3 times a week, but I do all the household chores when I have a full-time job. You even use your salary only for yourself. When did we even get married in the first place?
Wait a second. I don't want to get a divorce. Actually, I have important news to tell you.
What important news?
I'm pregnant.
What? Pregnant?
It's your child, too. I'll apologize for everything I've done. I had morning sickness, so I couldn't do the chores at home, even if I wanted to. I will do my best from now on, so let's do this thing together.
What are you saying? It's been a year since we got married. Are you implying that you've had morning sickness for a year? What are you saying? That's impossible.
Anyway, I'm pregnant.
How many months are you in?
I don't know yet, but I just found out yesterday. That's why I thought of telling you immediately, but I'm sorry it took me a little time to tell you.
Stop with your lies already. I'm sick and tired of hearing them. We haven't done it for 3 months now. How on earth would I get you pregnant without doing it? What are you saying? Do you even hear yourself? It's your lover's child for sure. You should leave the house immediately.
No, you're wrong. The baby in my belly is yours, Hunter. I might have told you lies before, but please believe me this time.
There is no way I'll believe that lie. I can't tell you right away about the alimony, but I will contact you again regarding that soon.
You're even going to demand alimony from me? That's impossible.
You chose to have an affair. What you get is a divorce for doing that. Of course, I'm gonna demand alimony from you. You should have thought of that before doing such an irresponsible act. Get out of the house before tomorrow comes, and take all your stuff out with you. I will go ahead and contact your parents.
Why are you so nonchalant about this? You're being too calm and level-headed for someone who just learned about his wife's affair. Why is that?
That's because I already thought of divorcing you. Also, I've been thinking of how suspicious you've been acting lately. I also felt like someone uninvited came inside our house. I feel kind of relieved that I finally found the answer to my questions. And by the way, I already prepared the official divorce papers. The divorce paper in the drawer in the bedroom, so if you don't mind, fill the form up and sign it before you leave. That would help me a lot.
You even prepared the divorce papers already? Did you really want to get a divorce that bad?
Don't you feel the same way too? You're saying you don't want to get a divorce, but your actions tell me otherwise. You keep on looking down on me like you're better. You even treat me like a housekeeper. And what's the worst is that you even had an affair. My gosh, how hell-like could you get? If all those things you did are normal to you, then I can't continue to live with you like this. That's why getting a divorce is the right answer to this dilemma. I mean, let's get a divorce.
Hunter, I'm sorry. There's a baby in my belly and I want to make amends with you and start fresh. I thought of today as the last day that he and I meet. So please, Hunter, please forgive me.
All you say is what benefits you. You're so selfish that all you think about is yourself. You probably told him about the baby and he ran off after hearing the news, didn't he?
Of course not. All I did was choose you, Hunter.
I'm sorry, but you don't get to choose this time, Dana. Our marriage is over. First, I need you to get out of the house. I will have to ask you to fill in the divorce paper with your signature. Then pay the alimony to me. These are what I have decided.
Hunter, wait for a second. You've been so kind to me for the past year, but I can't believe you would do this to me in the end.
I don't want to hear those words from someone who has treated me badly from the beginning to end. Well then, why don't you find someone else who is willing to do all the chores at home for you? You crazy, ungrateful monster!
Just as Hunter suspected, Dana's lover left her, after she told her lover about her pregnancy. After that, Dana didn't get out of the house, but her parents ended up coming for her and taking her to their house. She's now living with her parents in her childhood home, but she had to pay for the alimony that her husband demanded from her. Of course, with her, she spent money. She didn't have any savings. Without any money to her name, she had no choice but to work and pay alimony. She's expecting to give birth soon, and her lover didn't acknowledge his child, so rumors say that Dana might continue to be worried sick if she'll ever be able to raise her child all on her own.
Don't tell me you went home already. Good evening, Miss Rosemary. No, I haven't gone home just yet. Obtuse and stupid as always, I see. By the way, I left some of your documents I need finished by tomorrow somewhere near your desk. I trust you went through those? What? Near my desk? Could you be more specific, please? I'm pretty certain I left them right next to it. What? Don't tell me you didn't go through them. You see, this is what I mean when I talked about time. You gotta manage, damn it. This is such an inconvenience. You're so useless, Veronica. Do your work properly. I'm sorry, but I don't know which documents you're talking about. Could you tell me which ones you mean? Did you look around your desk, yes or no? And the trash can? Oh, jeez, it was in the trash can. Just as I thought, throwing away such important documents without so much as a bat on an eyelash. Unbelievable. But I didn't throw it out. I would never throw out any documents without anyone's permission. What are you trying to say? Miss Rosemary, did you really leave these documents near my desk? I'm certain that a quick glance at them would have been enough to realize what they were. But they weren't on my desk or near it anywhere. They were instead in the trash can. Do you know anything? Don't tell me you're suspicious of me. This is so ridiculous. You suspect your own superior at work of foul play. Do you realize how rude you are right now? If I'm wrong, I apologize. I'm sorry. You know, I would never do such a thing. You put them in the trash can yourself and then tried to make it so that someone else did it. You're rotten down to the core, Veronica. Down to my core, rotten? You have an unattractive face on top of a despicable personality. It's really hard to be your superior, honestly. I'm sorry, but you need not have gone into that territory, Miss Rosemary. What have we here? Talking back to your superior, are we? That's not what I'm doing here, Miss Rosemary, but I'm still a newcomer in the office. I'm so grateful for you showing me around the workplace and teaching me how to do my job properly. But if someone remarks something negative about how I look, how do I say this? There's not much I can do to change that, and it only hurts my feelings, so I'd appreciate it if you stopped. You know I'm only speaking the truth. The mere fact that an ugly swine shows up to work in the secretary division makes everyone's morale drop to an all-time low. We don't need ugly swine around here. Don't come to work again. You need not say such things, Miss Rosemary. I'm only trying to do my best for the company, as you know. Trying to do your best? You've got some guts saying that, when you haven't even gone through the documents that need to be finished by tomorrow. These weren't even on my desk, as we discovered. Perhaps a little heads up during the day wouldn't hurt. And this sort of mishap can be avoided in the future, I believe. That tongue of yours is still live. Sounds like you're putting the blame on me. I haven't typed a word with that intention. And I also know this. The vice director of the company has taken a liking to you. What? Taking a liking to you. When you're nothing but a hideous hag. How did you do it? Use your body, I suppose. I must ask you to stop saying these things, Miss Rosemary. Perhaps the reason why you're being so mean to me is because of what's going on with the vice director? I'm not even being mean to you, Veronica. No wonder you're so stupid. You can't even understand a person right. But someone saw you walking alongside the vice director a couple days back, and then I got depressed. Why is that? The vice director is a handsome young man who can do his job properly. He's like a rock star to us all. He's not the kind of person to keep all to yourself. And then there's you, plain dull woman. I really can't understand why he's taken a liking to you. In any case, I know you're never letting him out of your sight. Like some disgusting stalker. Could you stop doing such things? You're ruining the division's reputation with stupidity like that. I don't have any intention of doing such actions. Perhaps not, but never forget that you're being a nuisance to us all. Not just the vice director himself, but everyone working in the secretary division. You've no idea how much of an obstacle it is to have to work with someone we know is giving everyone a hard time. How about you start accounting for how everyone else feels about this, I didn't realize everyone regarded the vice director that way, so I'm sorry to have caused the trouble. So in other words, you don't approve of me being seen with the vice director, am I right, Miss Rosemary? Not just me, damn it. Everyone doesn't approve, Veronica. He himself must be feeling really bothered by this. And also, why in the world were you with him in the first place? You went up to meet with him after work. What the hell were you doing with him? We went out to dinner, actually. We do that sometimes since we do live together, too. Are you pulling my leg? Or is that loose screw of yours finally popped out of its little crevice? No, it's the cold truth, I'm afraid. We do live together, so in the event we get off work around the same time, we go someplace to eat before going back home. What are you trying to tell me? There's no friggin' way the vice director would yield to a stupid, simple woman like you. So you really are a stalker, eh? You sneak into his house every night and you sleep in the same house as him, eh? Do my looks really give off that kind of vibe? However, I do agree with you. Compared to the vice director, I may look pretty simple. My brother's been under the spotlight since time immemorial, after all. Huh? Brother? What? The vice director is my older brother, Miss Rosemary. Our parents divorced when we were very young, so we have different surnames. But we were of the same family name, once upon a time. After I came back from studying abroad, I've been renting a room of his, and that's why we're living together. My father seems to rest easier like that, apparently. Oh, hold on a second. You're the little sister of the vice director, Veronica. Yes, I am. We don't look alike at all, do we? And in other words, you're the director's daughter? Well, I suppose you could say that, yes. My biological father and I haven't really lived together very much, so I don't really think of him as my true father yet. But it was because of him and my brother that I was able to start working as soon as I came back from abroad. I can't forget my gratitude, can I? Why did you keep quiet about that? I didn't think I could show everyone that I'm truly capable of, and I thought people would look at me differently if I joined the company because the director himself pulled some strings. But I'd forgotten that my brother's quite the rock star, especially among the ladies, as you say. But don't worry, we aren't anything like you claim us to be. Oh, I'm not worried at all, miss. About tomorrow's documents, I can check them over first thing tomorrow morning. You need not stay late tonight to do any extra work, miss. Go home for the day, please. I'm sure the vice director is starting to get a little worried about you. I'm on my way home right now, actually, Miss Rosemary. The vice director was so kind as to help me go over the documents with me. And you need not do it tomorrow morning. What? The vice director did? Don't tell me. You didn't blab anything about me to him, did you? You didn't tell him that I made you do them, right? I didn't. I merely told him that they somehow wound up in the trash can and that they weren't finished yet. Oh, thank God. And it's not like I put them there, you know. There wasn't much space to put them, so they may have fallen into the trash can on their own. I'm sorry, Miss Veronica. I didn't think that you'd offer me an apology, Miss Rosemary. That was the last thing I expected. But of course I would. It was never anyone's mistake, and you left for home pretty late tonight. That's made me feel sorry for you and for the vice director. Is that so? Who would have thought that your attitude would change this much? What a surprise. But I haven't changed attitudes at all, Miss Veronica. Could I ask a small favor of you? If you're all right with it, I'd like you to recommend me to your brother. Romantically, of course. Excuse me? Why would I do that? This is something I shouldn't really say to the younger sister of the man in question here, but I've been a fangirl of his ever since I joined the Enterprise. So I'd love for you to let him know about me so that we could maybe go out to dinner together. Dinner with my brother, you mean? Indeed, and if it's not too much to ask, I don't mind going over to your place for some time together. You're invited, of course. You could be my future little sister, after all. And I've always had this feeling that the vice director is only ever kind to me in particular. And I don't think it's wishful thinking, so if I just had to chance, things for us could go pretty well. And thus I must call for you to help me out. Perhaps you could be the matchmaker for the two of us and arrange something. My brother's with me right now, and he just said that it really is wishful thinking, Miss Rosemary. What? Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Your brother is the vice director, right? Yes, he is. He's been reading our conversation in DMs for a while now. What? Didn't you say you never told him anything, Miss Veronica? I didn't tell him, Miss Rosemary, but I was crying as I was staring at my screen, so he went and saw what was happening without even asking. What? You can't mean that he's seeing all of this too, right? Yes, he is. Mr. Director, this isn't what you think. It's a misunderstanding. What's a misunderstanding, Miss Rosemary? You don't mean the fact that you just call me stuff like ugly swine and hideous bag, and that you brutally harass me at work every day, forcing me to do more work? Oh, Veronica dear, don't go about saying such silly things. You'll only make things worse, you know, and it's not like I wanted to do those things. You're the only one who went to such extremes, though, you see. It's not what you think. All I ever wanted was to educate you to become a good secretary. I never meant for those things to be personal insults. And I sure as hell never intended to harass you, not in the slightest.
I've taken the liberty of witnessing everything that has transpired tonight between you and my sister, Miss Rosemary.
Pardon me? Is that you, Mr. Vice Director?
The fact that my sister is still a newcomer here is no excuse for what I now know you did to her. Insulting her regarding her looks, forcing more work upon her, and making her stay working until late at night. Until now, she hasn't breathed a word, but I finally know who had the audacity to do these things.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Vice Director. I never knew she was your sister.
Who cares if it was my sister or not? You are a despicable human being, Miss Rosemary Floyd. Throwing important documents away voluntarily is another crime to your pile. This will be taken to Human Resources promptly.
Mr. Vice Director, please, wait a moment. I really am terribly sorry. I had no malice aforethought. I assure you.
It's over for you, Rosemary. Your charm as a woman and as a human being is zilch. Never interact with me or with my sister ever again!
The vice director of the company loves his sister Veronica very dearly and never allows any harm to come to her, and strictly punishes those who did. And Miss Rosemary was no exception. He never had any of her excuses, never forgave her, and promptly arranged for her to be moved to a subsidiary company in building maintenance. Rosemary's salary dwindled to something much smaller, and she was thrown into a working society dominated by men. Away from the brilliant office life of the secretary in training, and because of mounting pressure from the vice director, Rosemary's father eventually quit his job at his own company. An angry brother can be as strong as a lion, it seems.